I'm about to redesign this logo and I'd be looking to fix three things about it. First is the fact that this logo is a little too busy. Second, having the TV antenna makes it look kind of outdated because we don't use that no more. Third is the fact that this concept is generic. You must have seen other brands in the same line that has something similar to this. It's not unique. So I'll be looking to fix these flaws with the new logo I'm about to design, and I would like you to join me as I share my process on this one. It's about to get real. So I set out my space to draw some ideas for client approval like I always do. And one thing you should really know about OpenTV Nigeria is that this is an online news platform that upholds the value of disseminating verified news, which is why I incorporated the check mark in the logo as a symbol of verification. And this time we're using the acronym OTN, so you see how I fit the check mark in the concepts. Now the second concept is similar to the first, just that the check mark here is straight and not curved. And I could really stop there, but there is the third idea I'm not sure it's gonna be a hit or a miss, so I drew that also. That's with the T covering over the N and O, but still with the check mark in it. But I won't lie, this looks similar to NTA logo in a way. However, the first concept was the chosen one, so I took a picture and import to Illustrator. Now it's design time. I started out by drawing a perfect circle with the ellipse tool. Then I increased the line weight to 28 points. And for accuracy's sake, I positioned some guidelines at the top, bottom, and slightly within. Then I picked the pen tool and drew a line of straight angles across the check mark. Now I select the curvature tool and double click the anchor points within to curve them and increase the line stroke to 28 points. So I delete the anchor points within and adjust with the direct selection tool. With that, I worked on the check mark's positioning. Then I moved on to the next letter T. With the pen tool, I made a straight line and extend to the right in curve. Then I adjust the curve with the direct selection tool, and it's already in the right weight, so I moved on to the end. I picked it up from the bottom left to the top and to the bottom right, and made a slight adjustment on that. Now I went to the Objects tab and clicked on Expand to convert the lines to a shape. Then I select the check mark and back to the Objects tab. I hover on Path and clicked on Offset Path and set the offset to 0.12. I then ungrouped and copied the offset path with Command C. Then I selected it with the circle and clicked minus back in the Pathfinder's panel. Then I pasted and did the same thing with the T. And I could also achieve this with the Shape Builder tool, by the way. So I ungrouped the T and curved the top right angle with direct selection tool. Then I drew a rectangle that cuts across the left side of the end and minus it from the end to create an opening. The idea with this is to make sure the three letters has an opening as inspired by the brand name. Now I typed out the brand name, after which I hid the sketch in the layers panel. I then changed the font to Poppins Extra Bold and positioned it right. Then I typed out the tagline and changed the font to Poppins Medium. Now I put the text in position before slanting it with the share tool. And that's because Poppins doesn't have italics. Now I have the logo almost ready. Then I proceed to curve the edges of the logo mark at certain ends. And this to make it look a little less serious. Now all that's left to do is give colors to the logo components. I made a gradient of orange on the check mark and also the brand name, while the letters and the tagline is in a shade of green. And after all said and done, we arrived at this. And that's how we achieved the new logo for OpenTV Nigeria. And just like that, we have a new face of the brand. And I'd really like to know what you think about this. If you find this insightful, don't forget to show some love. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.